Hello, friends, and welcome to the Born to be Wild Listener Series, Season 5, Week 5. We have got quite a match for y'all tonight. DoctorBOMD versus Doctorfeesh, and joined by my co-hosts from the Born to be Wild podcast, Hydralisk and Electric Sheep City. Welcome back. It's great to see you both again.
Meowdy, long time no see.
Ha! Love it. All right, friends, we're going to jump right into this. A couple of quick housekeeping matters before we get into things. Talking about the Born to be Wild Listener Series, for those not familiar, this is a weekly wild deck building focused tournament series. The format is played in the Conquest format. So the way that this works is that each week players submit 4 decks consisting of separate classes. Classes and deck lists are hidden until after weekly submission deadlines. Once classes and deck lists are revealed, players have an opportunity to review and ban one of their opponent's decks. Ban selections are hidden until both players have submitted their bans, at which point they're revealed. In the Conquest format, when a player wins with a deck, that player must then move on to a different deck. The losing player may switch decks, but is not required to do so. The victor is the first person to win matches with all 3 decks. And a quick note for those of you watching along, wanted to kind of show you what to expect during the matches. Players are represented by avatars, decks are represented by their class icons. Banned decks are marked with the red X. Winning decks are marked with the green check. So the green check indicates that the player has won with this class and deck, that it can no longer be played. The red X indicates that that is a banned class or deck that cannot be played. And so if you tune in midstream and you see these appearing over the class icons, you kind of know what that means. And then I'm going to pass the mic off to Sheep City to talk about this week's lore and challenge.
Yeah, so in week 5 of the Born to be Wild Listener Series, it is entitled Dredge the Deep. So we'll kick it over to recorded lore master Goliath the Dwarf to give us a little bit of story time.
With the city of Zin-Azshari now sunken and in ruins, Queen Azshara instructed her denizens to build her new empire and its capital, the City of Nazjatar. In the cold, dark silence of the deeps, they grew their power to rule the world once more. What treasures remain hidden amongst the ruins of Zin-Azshari? Only the bravest and deepest treasures could ever know.
Yeah, so those bravest, deepest treasures lead us to our primary challenge. So the primary challenge is for this week is that each deck must contain at least 15 cards that are either Mech tribe, have the Dredge keyword, or have the Discover keyword. So 15 can be comprised of any mismatch of those 3 inclusions. The secondary challenge this week is that decks must be made of 15 neutral cards and 15 class cards, so an even split down the middle. And this week, hero cards are banned, so no Dr. Boom Mad Genius for you.
Boo.
No.
Boom.
No boom. No boom.
No boom for you.
That is exactly. So that is our challenge this week. Hydra, what deck lists did our contestants bring this go around?
Well, the main one that seemed to be pretty obvious to bring was Mage. And both of our contestants tonight brought Mage. And guess what? They're both banned. Because Mech Mage is already a pretty good deck anyways. And since we're featuring this, challenge a lot around mechs, it was just a go-to deck. And yeah, so neither can play that. So if we're looking at Feesh's list here, the Paladin is, they're all going to focus around mechs, right? So we just sort of have a standard mech Paladin build.
Radar detector seems quite good.
Radar detector
Yes.
is always, something you're going to want to have. So
That's incredible.
That is incredible. I don't even think I thought about that for my own list, so shame on me.
That's incredible.
But and then Demon Hunter. Obviously, we have some more mech synergy here. Do you guys see? We have Jace here, which is This was a nerfed card, was it not? Or that's not the nerfed card. What was the nerfed card? Sorry. My
nerf
bad.
card was the one that would pull Xylag of the Abyss.
Oh.
The Korea, I think it was.
Yeah.
Okay, well then we're fine.
Carry
then.
a fell soul or something like that. But yeah,
But
not a big deal.
do feature Xylag of the Abyss itself.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this hunter list. It looks quite spicy because it's, well, look, it's got Ozumat in it. So, and Hydralodon.
Hydralodon.
Very cool. This looks like a lot
Topping
of fun.
off with King Crush at the end. So that's always fun.
All right. Well,
All right, what do we have for DoctorBOMD?
Yeah, so Dr. Bomb brought Paladin, Druid, Mage, and Warrior. The Mage has been banned as well. The Paladin looks kind of like, well, it's a mech Paladin,
list, basically. Radar detectors there.
And this druid, however, speaks to me on a spiritual level. So it is very much an aggro druid with the taunt aggro package. So we've got the, of course, encumbered pack mule, but also the Razormane Battle Guard and the Oracle of the Loon, and tops out at Greybow to have that taunt and keep it rolling. So it is definitely the taunt aggro druid there. Very exciting to see that play out, and Druid was not banned. So if DoctorBOMD knows me, and he does, we may see that one featured pretty quick.
Yeah, the last deck up here is, it's Pirate Warrior.
Yeah, so I wish I'd thought of this one myself, but Pirate Warrior with the Raid the Docks topping off the final for the lists here, and this one does have a nerf card. Mr. Smite is still included on this. I see as not being replaced, but this will be a tough contender.
Yeah, and it did get a last minute change. Nelly was in the deck and got pulled out for a second Circus Amalgam because it got nerfed pretty hard.
Pretty hard.
Well, I know these contenders are itching to get started, so if y'all are ready, let's let them do the thing.
Cool.
In the words of Mario, let's a go.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
Yes, we are ready whenever they are, and this should be a lot of fun. It's mechs versus mechs. Dredging and discovering, I think it'll be a lot of fun. This was a very fun week for me, and it looks like they are queuing up game one right now. So Doctorfeesh on the bottom, starting out with Hunter. DoctorBOMD on the top with Paladin.
And if Mech Mage was not so ubiquitous and powerful, I imagine we would have seen a double Paladin ban here. So however much I was hoping to see that Druid bring from DoctorBOMD at first, I mean, the Paladin, I don't feel like was a poor choice whatsoever. It's a very strong bring and very strong queue to lead it all out. Ooh, and Doctorfeesh top decking the Mistress of Mixtures to contest on turn 1. Love to see it for Feesh fans. Ooh, and the King Crush already in hand. Doctorfeesh was hoping to pull that out with the Harpoon Gun or other ways to kind of discount that King Crush. So that'll probably stay in hand for quite a while if Doctorfeesh can hang on that long. Feesh considering dropping the Selective Breeder or coining out a Stonehill Defender here, it looks like. Though I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Harpoon Gun being coined out either. A lot of good choices here for Feesh.
Mm-hmm.
And Stonehill Defender is a beast, right?
Yes. No, actually, it's not.
Nope.
It has no tribe.
Not a
It's
beast.
Tortolan. Nope. So if we eventually see that tribe being incorporated, then that'll happen. So Feesh picks a Mountain Bear with that Harpoon Gun Discovery, which of course will make Mountain Bear 4 mana whenever Feesh does draw it.
Oh, and
Which is now.
speak of the devil.
Yeah, it was dredged up. So so we knew it was going to be top deck.
Mountain bear to the rescue.
Ooh, that teacher's pet looks great if you're Fish here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You've got that curve from mountain bear into teacher's pet into like what, selective breeder Stonehill defender. Fish is chilling.
It's a solid curve, and the Mech Paladin is pretty aggressive, so having the big taunts, I think, is going to be really beneficial.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Fish opting to pop that bubble instead of taking out the 1/1, which it's a lot of damage to the face, but it's a good decision.
Yeah, especially with the mountain bear coming down next turn. Doc may have traded off the Mooncatcher, popping the bubble into the Stonehill Defender this turn. And then next turn, the mountain bear. It may have actually been slightly better to kill off the 1/1, but it's splitting hairs at that point.
Yeah, it's a tough call.
It's really tough. And we have the benefit of caster vision, right?
Yeah.
Ah, caster vision.
Ah, yes. And
That
easy
mountain
mountain
bear.
bear drop. Yeah.
Yeah, really coming in clutch there.
But Doc's got that persistent discount with the Mech Warper. Christology gonna draw 2. Doc's gonna be dropping a lot of mechs here. And it looks like with that security automaton that he's probably gonna go wide rather than going tall. Or do a mix of the two. We shall see.
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah, I mean, dropping the Mooncatchers, just sinking those earlier ones, and able to just like go wide with the second right here is just a 2-mana 8/4 with Divine Shield on both. Like, oh, incredible.
Yeah. Considering that rush on the Skeeter bot,
Dropping it on one of the one of the Mooncatchers in order to take down a second Mountain Cub.
Just quite a
Reserve
board.
Yeah.
it really is.
Fish able to choose between selective breeder Stonehill Defender, selective breeder Revive Pet.
Yeah, it makes sense to see
Yeah.
the mama bear coming back.
Ooh.
Some choices there. Ooh. and a gold Hydralodon. Love to see it.
That looks great.
Well, those taunts are going to come in clutch now. The question is it enough?
Yeah, DoctorBOMD able to drop a couple of mechs, which will buff that security automaton up to the point where it can solo the mountain bear. And then the mechs on board can do cleanup duty.
Yep.
It's a matter of whether BOMD wants to push 5 or clear off the selective breeder. Decides to push 5 because he realizes that he needs to set Fish on a clock, and that as soon as Fish puts down more taunts, that's what gets him. So recognizing that the selective breeder is not a threat.
Yeah, with that board, it's a 1/3 with no synergy.
Exactly.
Yeah, Fish needs to stall, I think, because that Hydralodon is going to do some pretty big cleanup duty, assuming that Fish is still alive. So, the question is, what can we do for 6 mana? I think that teacher's pet probably has to come down. Maybe Teacher's Pet into Mistress, but maybe not. Like it's Stonehill and see what we get.
Yeah,
It's,
Stonehill is the other consideration there. So the Teacher's Pet is 5 health. Stonehill Defender is 4. But Stonehill Defender can discover another taunt minion to put another roadblock in the way. So it's a pretty relevant decision. I agree with Feesh and your line in dropping the Teacher's Pet. But it was a tough choice.
I agree. It's a little tricky.
Yeah. And unless I'm mistaken, this is lethal since that Teacher's Pet did not drop a taunt.
Yeah.
And DoctorBOMD taking game 1.
Well played to both of them. That just DoctorBOMD really just flooded the board so fast and took a hold of that game from the beginning.
Yeah, so Doc taking game 1 with the Mech Paladin here. So, and then they can get started whenever they're ready. But yeah, these Mech decks, there's so much synergy here. And not surprised, I think what we have seen, what I saw in my games in particular, the so what is it, Security Automaton, just, you know, if you can't clear it, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and steamrolls. And it definitely put in a lot of work that game.
Absolutely. And with Mech being such a heavy feature, not surprised to see Paladin taking an early win and Doctorfeesh deciding to pivot over to that Paladin after seeing DoctorBOMD have such success with it last game. DoctorBOMD playing the Druid. He's definitely trying to get some favorable casting this particular game. So Feesh dropping the Glowtron. DoctorBOMD can either clear it with the Druid of the Reef or hold for value to see if he can clear the Security Automaton later. We, of course, know that Security Automaton is not in Feesh's hand, but BOMD does not know that. Still decides to clear, probably the right move there. And Feesh drops the Annoyotron.
I guess DoctorBOMD knows how quickly the board can get out of control, as they just did that. So cleaning it up.
Yes, very wise choice there.
Well,
and
the Razormane Battle Guard is a scary, scary card here when you can just pile, you know, it's protected here behind a taunt, and the urgency to clean it up is definitely there.
Yeah, because if Feesh can't clear it this turn, then DoctorBOMD can play a Greybow on turn 3 without even utilizing the coin.
Wow.
Gonna get spicy.
Yeah, and won't be able to.
No, but he could clear the donkey.
The taunt, at least. Yeah. Donkey.
And of course, DoctorBOMD barking up the wrong tree immediately.
3 mana Greybow.
And popping the shield. Goodbye, bubble. Doctorfeesh can play out his entire hand this turn. Probably wanting to isolate the buff from the Click Clocker onto one of the minions. Glowtron is probably the one that he would have wanted to isolate that onto. But even though he didn't sequence it in a way to guarantee that buff, love to see it for Feesh fans there. Oh,
What was Dredge up? Oh, okay.
Oracle
Yeah.
Balloon.
so Dr. Bomb pulling the Oracle of Elune with aquatic form. We're going to see 2 Annoyotrons this turn. right before the Arbor Up turn.
I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. That
So
is a scary looking board right there.
Yeah, I'll be
That
curious
gray
to
bow.
see whether Dr. Bomb trades one or both of these or just chills. Yeah, just chilling.
Chills.
Yeah, love to see it. Love that identification that if he's not cleaning up the Annoyotron, he doesn't need to pop the Gray Bow. And trading off the Razormane Battle Guard is not what you want to be doing, especially with the Bronze Gatekeeper in hand and the Oracle of Elune on the field. So knowing that he'll be able to get double the Bronze Gatekeeper and Bronze Gatekeeper coin Arbor Up is just so strong right here.
Yeah. Yeah. And Feesh avoiding the Gray Bow, which makes sense, right? We don't want to create more. This is going to be a pretty gnarly turn, and actually clearing the minions didn't hurt DoctorBOMD. Now it just leaves space for the Arbor Up.
Yep.
And I don't know. Looking at that board, all I can really say is
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
a
that was
board right
gross.
there.
Yeah, Feesh recognizing that locked him out. That locked them out. The Doc was going to trade off into all of the mechs, keeping anything from being magnetized and traded off into. Dr. BOMD had board, Razormane Battle Guard, and Oracle of Elune. Feesh recognizing that was game, and they conceded right there.
Yeah, and I think what Feesh really wanted to see was a radar detector.
Yes.
The top deck was not really what we were looking for there.
Yeah, well played game by both.
Interesting to see Dr. BOMD brought a pirate warrior deck in a week that mostly consisted of mechs, but it meets all the rules because of the dredging and the discovering effects, and so
Brought a pirate to a mech fight.
Oh, and an extra Mr. Smite already in hand.
Lead the charge?
And Dr. Keith cleaning up here. Strong. Smart move against a pirate warrior. Be curious to see if we see a Volpira Scoundrel here or a Fury to clean up the minion. Both have their merits. I think I personally am leaning towards the Scoundrel or the Scorpion, but Scoundrel presents more of a face potential. Scorpion, however, contests against more things, like the other amalgam that is not in Dr. BOMD's hand, but we have Caster Vision, and Feesh does not. And Feesh deciding to trade off the Vicious Slither Spear. Curious about that one, but he just lost two, so he may be playing a little on tilt. I hope not for Feesh's sake, but quite possible there.
Opting to go for more quest completion there instead of clearing the Scorpid. Trying to get to that goal.
Yeah, from BOMD's perspective, completing the quest is what he wants to do. He wants to play as many pirates, and the Ankar, which is what would have cleared the Scorpid, is more for refill.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really need that right now.
Not at this point.
Heads up by Dr. BOMD there. And Feesh, of course, doing the proper thing and developing taunts and trading off to keep Dr. BOMD from spiraling out of control.
Yeah, and this is just literally for quest completion. Dr. BMD knows that this is gonna die instantly, but trying to get there.
Ooh, I like this, actually. I think this has you put some pressure a little bit on Dr. BOMD, or at least the more aggressive move here. And I think having ladies sit there and kind of protected behind that taunt with the clear board, I like it.
Yeah, I like it from Feesh's point of view as well. Presenting a high priority target, like you said, Nate, behind the taunt is very heads up.
Yeah, without any chargers, I mean, I think it survives this turn, and assuming that Doctorfeesh has more spells, it'll potentially clear up this minion on the board as well.
Yeah, so Dr. BOMD choosing the Defias Cannoneer from the Obsidian Smith, which it seems like he's hoping will clear off this Lady Sitheno. So a heads up pick from Dr. BOMD there. And Feesh trying to make that hard by dropping the Circus Amalgam over the Fossil Fanatic, which is a really heads up play there.
Mm-hmm.
So BOMD, of course, dropping the Cannoneer. We'll see a couple of cannon shots here with the quest progression. And then we'll see a couple more with the weapon swing. Dr. Bomb really hoping that some of those will hit the Sitheno and none of them
Not
do.
a single one. Cleared everything else, but...
Oh, also heads up from Dr. BOMD and picking the patches.
That
in
is
order
a
to play it this
Xylag.
turn.
Oh.
Yes.
So next turn, Doc can play the Trawler and complete the quest and play the Rokara, but none of that will matter if the Xylag gets played this turn and cleans up so much of this board. A lot will come down to RNG from these stalks and where their pings go. But Feesh can, of course, bump the Sitheno into the Defias Cannoneer to make the odds significantly better there.
Is this the one time that you don't feel bad drawing patches, right? You want the patches. I mean, I know it was generated, but like a 1-mana 1/1 pirate just to tick off that quest completion seems like a pretty heads up. I really want to see the Xylag drop, but it feels risky.
It's risky.
Coming.
I like it though.
It's risky, but Feesh is kind of on the back foot, and that was great for Feesh fans.
It was. All you little Feeshes out there.
I like to see it. No, I like to see it. I think we all kind
Yeah.
of wanted to see that colossal drop there.
Definitely. So Dr. BOMD can complete the quest either by also playing out the Rokara or what he chooses to do, dropping Smite and trading off into that Xylag. So this is, of course, open deck list, which means that Dr. BOMD knows that there is no Dirty Rat, there is no Mutinous, there's no way to punish him, at the very least in deck. Discover effects are discover effects, but highly unlikely that there is a punish there. So
Yeah.
heads up play to destroy that Xylag, and Dr. BOMD is on the back foot here.
Wow.
Down to 8. Feesh presenting lethal. Down to 2 after the stalks do their due diligence.
Yeah.
Feesh at 23. This is over for BOMD.
I'm very selfishly, I'm rooting for Doctorfeesh here because I want the games to last as long as possible.
Yeah. I like this because looks like we have a series.
Hard agree.
Yeah. All
So-
right.
We get to see the Hook Tusk get played out. Just for giggles.
Yeah, good times. Well, I mean, how often do you get to play Hook Tusk in Warrior? Not too often. So you'd love to see it. And I like that deck. It looked a lot like kind of what we've seen lately in Standard as like the Fell Demon Hunter kind of package. A lot of similar cards here, but that was great. I think some really heads up plays there by Doctorfeesh, and Lady Sitheno seemed kind of like the MVP there. It was pretty solid. And I loved seeing Xylag come down. Very fun. Uh-oh. I have a little bit of a spectate bug here. Let me jump back in.
Yeah,
And
me too.
I got bumped out as well. Looks like
Oh,
someone may have been disconnected.
Looks like they both probably did. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So open deck list. Nothing too bad here. They'll log back in and we'll be able to reestablish spectating here shortly. So if I'm Doctorfeesh, I'm probably going to queue up the Paladin next because I feel like that's the next one that'll be able to contest and to be able to kind of take advantage of this this warrior. So I'm hoping from Feesh we see the Paladin, and we do. Love to see it.
All right. Looks like they're back in game, so we're queuing this up here.
Yeah, so Doctorfeesh, they are choosing to go for the Paladin, and we've got the Galvanizer in hand. We've got the Security Automaton in hand. Love to see it. DoctorBOMD also has a really good opening hand, of course, starting with the quest, but then into the
Harbor Scamp.
Harbor Scamp, thank you, and of course the Sky
Raider.
Sky Raider, thank you.
I've
Words
played
are
a lot of Pirate Warrior.
I have two, but I go visually versus by name.
We got Corcoran the Elite Boy over here casting. I love it.
Yeah, we do.
I love it. I love it.
So
Ahoy,
we've
hoy.
got two great starting hands from both of these players. I'm excited to see this
Love to see
slugfest.
it. I almost wonder if you don't coin out the Galvanizer. Like, that is just a huge hand. I mean, either way, it's what a good opening hand here.
Yeah, it's tempting, but I almost wonder if you don't just to discount something else and then coin something with the Security Automaton later. Ooh. Or Feesh recognizing that the quest line slows it down, pointing out the Security Automaton right now.
What a
It's the
power
next
play.
turn. Galvanizer, Skaterbot, Glowtron, like just going off. But DoctorBOMD with the punish. That Nazas first mate and Salcy deckhand. Oh my gosh. That was intense.
If you look, Feesh picking up here the radar detector, though, which was what was missing previously, and what could be, very likely drawing 5 mechs.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's an achievement for that.
Yeah, there is. I'll be curious to see if we see the Galvanizer come down now or the radar detector to fill the hand up to get the most value from that Galvanizer. Both have
He's
merits.
trying to contest board at this moment.
Yeah, making a big boy, killing off that patches, and presenting a 3, still 5. So 3/5 that DoctorBOMD has no way to deal with.
In the box? Pirate stuff.
So BOMD holding on to the Rusty Hook charge. So that kind of gives us the information that the Defias Cannoneer is likely coming down this turn with a swing and then a Salcy deckhand to finish clearing things up.
Yeah.
And of course, BOMD making it so that those
Wow.
cannon shots had the possibility to clear, and they did.
Heads up play.
All right, so Feesh here can drop the moon catcher and then radar detector to be able to go wide next turn. Decides to radar detector first. And then Mooncatcher later with the benefit of next turn being able to see Floor Savior, and those not just be 4/2s, but those will be 6/4s with Divine Shield. And BOMD is really happy here, can just swing face into that Mooncatcher, let the Defias Cannoneer clear up the rest of that minion. Grab a cheap pirate for next turn that generates additional pirates. And then we see the cannon shots. Did its diligence. Gosh, and Feesh on the back foot.
Not looking good at this point in time.
Really needing to clear, especially the Defias Cannoneer is a big scary card. And really putting in a lot of work right now.
Powering up. Portals online.
Yes, and with that skater bot, should be able to achieve that. Deciding to do so with one of those moon catchers. Very heads up by Feesh there. Present their own board and take down the high priority threat.
DoctorBOMD needs to play 2 more pirates to complete the quest.
Yes, and he can do so now with either of the 4-cost pirates still in his hand. Or can play one of the ones he just drew. BOMD electing. Oh, maybe not. I thought he was going to elect to play the Sky Raider. Yeah, it looks like he's debating between the Sky Raider and the Edwin. I'd be really surprised to see BOMD drop the South Sea Scoundrel because he does not want to give Feesh additional resources in hand. Yeah, that Ankar swing leading into something playable alongside Sky Raider. Very heads up. BOMD going all face, setting Feesh to 6, saying, I'm putting you in check. But
Deal with
Feesh
it.
with that bubble bot top deck is
Yeah.
clutch. So for the uninitiated, Bubblebot gives all of your other mechs Divine Shield and Taunt. But Feesh electing to deal with the board here instead of dropping the Bubblebot. And the Leviathan does let them clear the board, thus only leaving DoctorBOMD with the Ankar swing. So theoretically, Feesh should still be alive next turn.
And with a decent board.
Oh, but that Sky Barge has a lot of different targets, so probably not going to do the
Hey,
deed.
it could happen.
That is wow. How much is that damage on board?
Yeah, so Feesh has 24 damage on board. So Feesh not only dealt with DoctorBOMD's board, presents counter lethal despite being at 6 themselves.
That's incredible. This is I don't see what DoctorBOMD really can do here. I guess we'll see what pirate gets drawn.
Yeah.
But
So BOMD still had Mr. Smite in his deck, so that was his out there. That's why he made that particular trade, because
Makes
he knew
sense.
that if he made the trade, didn't matter. Because
This is-
Mr. Smite was lethal regardless. But Feesh
Now
only
we'll
has
have
to
it.
play 2 mechs, and they win this game and take us to game 5. They have ample mana to do that thing.
yep.
Would you look at that? There's lethal, and we are going to game 5.
Lethal with bubbles.
Caution. Hot.
Hot.
All right, and they're tied up 2-2. What a match!
Wow.
Feesh with the comeback there. You love to see it. Anytime we go to 5 games, it is just incredible, and we've got 2 very talented players here. So I'm excited to see this through. And regardless of who wins, like wow, these matches are tense.
You know who wins, Nate?
We do.
We win. Exactly. So we have gotten down to DoctorBOMD's Quest Warrior versus Doctorfeesh's Big Hunter.
Oh boy.
Match point. Ready? Fight!
Victory for the Forsaken.
Yeah, so Feesh keeping the pet collector, tossing the rest quite wisely. Ooh, and that harpoon gun. You love to see it. DoctorBOMD has a decent curve himself with, of course, Questline on 1, Obsidian Smith on 2, or double Sky Raider on 2 with that second Sky Raider draw. Both good options.
Oh wow, that's a parachute brigand. That's a buffed potentially parachute brigand.
And we saw DoctorBOMD choosing the Defias Cannoneer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did.
A sticky one at that.
Yeah. 3 mana 4/4 Defias Cannoneer. Of course, BOMD knowing that next turn he's not going to draw Ankar because of that Dredge effect of the Obsidian Smith. And Feesh choosing Revive Pet, School Teacher, or Moonfang. Going into 3 mana. Feesh electing to pick the Moonfang there. So that'll, of course, be discounted to a 2 mana 6/3 that can only take 1 damage at a time. And DoctorBOMD wisely electing to play both Sky Raiders here so that that Ankar is not in deck. DoctorBOMD will not be drawing patches.
Witchwood Grizzly has some pretty good synergy with this deck.
It does, especially with the Revive Pet, which we know is in deck, but not in hand. And oh, here are 2 opportunities at it here. So
Wow.
Feesh not going to discount the Dredged card regardless here. And electing to choose the School Teacher, not either of the Revive Pet.
Yeah, let's see a 4/2 parrot with Rush.
I mean, actually really good in this particular position.
And going for those cannon shots. Those are also good.
Yeah, Defias Cannoneer has been very good in this series.
Mm-hmm. Now, Feesh on the back foot can drop a 2/3 taunt for 4.
Let none
Can drop a
survive.
school teacher. Can play selective breeder and perhaps Moonfang. Gosh, if I'm Feesh, I'm gonna fish with the breeder first and then drop the Moonfang if I don't get kind of anything cheap. But Feesh electing to drop the Sky General Crag.
Just for some stall. Also, we'll take out some of the little guys.
It soaks up some of that damage.
Does. And BOMD choosing to trade off some of his own minions in order to present more board space so that he can continue to drop some of those additional pirates.
Chooses the Tar Creeper. That is fine because the Scoundrel could trade evenly into that anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if Feesh is dropping the Tar Creeper, then BOMD just win. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep.
Let none survive.
So Dr. BOMD with the heads up play, choosing to tempt Doctorfeesh with the Tar Creeper.
Yeah, this is tricky. I don't really see a way out.
And clearing off the Defias Cannoneer is really the only out there.
I forgot the Rat King had Rush.
Because nobody plays the Rat King.
No, but that was definitely
Not wrong.
that's the dangerous card. I mean, I think that was the right play by Feesh.
Yes, completely agreed. Dr. BOMD fishing with the Harbor Scamp to see if he can present lethal. Not quite. So Feesh buying an extra turn, but we can see with the hand and with the top deck that Dr. BOMD is going to claim victory. Not quite a reverse sweep, but still 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
Victory is in my grasp.
Oh, Sylvanas. Unfortunately, it is not.
Even with the double Tar Creeper, it's still not enough, right?
No, not quite. With the Sky Barge on board,
Let none survive.
And a weapon in
Dr.
hand.
BOMD can trade everything off and then just drop a pirate. And Doc wins. And he's got more than one pirate to choose from. So if you're Feesh, dropping both Tar Creepers and Praying is the play. But of course, with Caster Vision, we know.
Played indeed.
Well played.
Yeah, honestly, completely well played by both competitors here.
Absolutely.
This was a series.
And done. Yeah. Yeah.
Sniped by the Sky
Congratulations to
Barge.
both. Yeah. Sometimes it happens like that.
Well played to both competitors. I'm going to see if we can get them into a post-game call. Right, so Dr. BOMD has given acquiescence. I'm going to jump over to the voice call in that one. Good job. Well played to you both. Congratulations to Dr. BOMD on the 5-game match win, and Doctorfeesh almost achieving that reverse sweep. Well played to you both. Congratulations. Nate, I'm gonna kick over the interview questions your way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, to both of you. Well played. And so, real quickly, I guess if we can go through, any thoughts? I'll start with you, Dr. BOMD. Any thoughts on the series in general, and what were your thoughts or your approach to your deck building this week?
I mean, first start with Mech Mage and Mech Paladin, because those are two real decks that are both really good. And then I think I was talking with Schmoopy, and he was trying to build some sort of foe druid, and I was like, wait, can't we just make like an aggro taunt druid? This will work really well. And then I was kind of struggling for a last one. I was like, I think I can make Pirate Warrior. And so I made Pirate Warrior. And I then became pretty convinced it was too slow to make it, and I felt like it almost was. That was a really close series, and I think if Feesh didn't completely whiff on his weapon discovers, that it goes the other way. So yeah, well played to him. I thought it was really outstanding all around. I don't know what I was doing in that my Pirate Warrior against his Paladin. I threw that. I don't know if I threw that game. I don't think I was winning anyway, but I don't know what I was doing.
How did the Pirate Warrior feel with I know there was some last minute switcheroos happening based on the nerfs. How did that, impact you too much?
I don't think so, because I didn't really draw. I never would have played Nelly, I don't think. Maybe in that Paladin game I would have played it, but and Smite 7 instead of 6 wasn't that big of a deal. I did go kind of fishing for lethal, trying to find a Smite.
We saw that.
But, yeah, I didn't know what else to do at that point. Yeah, I mean, overall, it just feels a little slow. I mean, they nerfed the deck twice, so it's slower because of that. And just having with the restrictions, there were just a lot of the cheap pirates that you had to cut and run slightly more expensive pirates, and like the pirates that give discounts and the pirates that shoot things, and it's just a little bit slower and a little bit slower and a little bit slower. So it felt a little bit tough to play, but I'm glad I got it through.
Yeah. Well played, and Doctorfeesh, very, very close, but great games as well. And I think anytime games go to 5 rounds, just incredible. We were all kind of on the edge of our seat here, and I think there was also a lot of heads up play on your end. Particularly, that Demon Hunter match was really incredible to watch. What were your thoughts on this series tonight, and any approach to deck building?
So like BOMD said, I started with Mech Paladin and Mech Mage. There was a point where I was just like, maybe I just want to play slightly more fun stuff, but I was like, I think I just have to keep them in, especially because we're both on the playoff bubble. The Demon Hunter felt really interesting because, like, given the really strong tools with the deck and the late game that you can kind of get by pretty much using a lot of your class parts for fell spells for like Jace, and then being able to just throw Zilog in there, especially into aggro. Zilog can kind of get you out of a bad spot, like it did for me there. The Beast Hunter was I don't know, I really like the archetype. I think I also was having a hard time like thinking of a deck that wasn't warrior to bring. Yeah. I had a warrior in mind. I had a control warrior built, and I scrapped it because I wanted to play the Beast Hunter because it's one of my favorite archetypes. I wish I had thought about the Taunt Druid, because that's also an archetype I enjoyed. Once I saw the Grey Bow on 3, I knew I pretty much lost. I just didn't want to concede on 3.
Yeah.
But in general, I mean, I had a fun time, like, outside of that one game. Everything else was pretty close. Like, a spammy Arcanist off the top in game 1 would have probably swung the game super hard for me.
Yeah, I was trying to play around that, and I just couldn't figure out a way to get the numbers to line up right, and I just had to pretend it didn't exist. Because that would have won you the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was sitting here like head in my hands, being like, don't have it.
I was sitting your hand in my head, like, oh please, just one time, give me the spammy.
in the last game when I played the South Sea Scoundrel, it gave it to me as an option. I was like, no, thank you.
And we saw that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I once I saw that the Beast Hunter didn't win the first one, I was like, I don't know how this deck gets through it. It needs to do some. It needed to like that first Discover needed to pretty much be like a Mountain Bear. I needed a Mountain Bear in one of those two Discovers. Even though I got the Moon Fang, it just wouldn't have done anything against Pirate Warrior because it just chips it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it felt good and it didn't feel too bad in testing, but I also was a little wary of it. And it didn't get the win, but I got to play it and that was fun. Yeah, I was so close to playing Hydralid. I got one turn from Hydralodon as well.
Yeah, we saw that, and it's just, it was just a little bit too late, or the mana cost is a little bit too high.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, congratulations to the both of you. It was a really great series to be able to cast and watch.
Yeah, for sure. I had this whole season's been really fun. I felt like I got my wings under me with deck building, and I was just super happy to take part in this.
Yeah, I don't know if I said this at all week one. I don't. It's probably not because I hadn't been through it yet. But the deck building challenges this season I thought were far and away just like outstanding. The past couple seasons, some have been good, some have been a little bit more misses, and this one I thought every week, like with the double restrictions, it made it interesting.
Yeah.
You could bring powerful decks. Some of the weeks in past seasons, you just kind of bring like terrible decks that aren't fun to play. But this season, every week it's fun to play, it's fun to build, it's interesting. Yeah. You're not just playing meta stuff, but you're playing stuff that can actually is fun to play. And I think you guys all did a really, really good job putting it together, and we all really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with it. It's been a blast.
We also thank the listeners because a lot of people submit these deck building challenges, and we kind of take those and smush them all together.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting ride trying to kind of, I don't know, this is something that we hadn't seen done before, trying to mash up kind of like lore with, and then multiple challenges on top of it, and trying to kind of see how we could amalgamate, if that's the right word.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, very kind of you. I appreciate that. Great games tonight. So I think we wanted to say thank you as well. I appreciate you allowing us to cast your matches. It's a pleasure for us too. It's probably the highlight of my week personally.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on the standings. I'm hoping 17 is good enough.
18... it's probably not. Honestly, there's too many matches with people at 15 and 14 for me to get in.
Yeah,
because there's already 4 people plus you, so there's only 3 spots. So maybe, just maybe.
We'll
but
see.
There's 2 more matches at 15, and those people are playing each other. So somebody's gonna get over 8. Somebody's gonna get over it. So I think I'm mathematic.
Unless they forget to submit, maybe they won't submit their results.
Hey, you never know. You never know. I will say, in terms
I don't bank on it though.
In terms of points, a match that goes to 5 games is like, it's much more beneficial than like a 3-0 sweep or whatever would have been. So maximizing the points, even if you get a loss this week, it's still I think
I have to put in my defense.
yeah, don't forget to submit your results.
What was game 1?
Game 1 was Hunter
Hunter
versus Paladin,
and then
Druid versus Paladin.
Yeah.
And then Demon Hunter versus Warrior. Yeah, and then it's Demon Hunter wins, Paladin wins, and then your Warrior wins. Yep.
Yeah, that Demon Hunter deck was really good.
That deck felt amazing. That deck felt amazing in testing, for sure. I was fortunate when you. Obviously you played the Hook Tusk at the end, and like there wasn't much you could have done about it. But I was like, okay, he didn't get my 2 good cards.
I just thought it was funny that I had it.
I had the hook. That was funny. I didn't even.
The right play was to steal the taunt, but I was still dead, so I didn't even do that.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and in the fourth game, my deck tracker was broken, so I couldn't see how much damage I had. I was just like, I just kind of have to max this and hope I have it.
Oh yeah, you had it even before. I think you.
No, I
needed
didn't.
to
I was
play
two.
that.
I was 2 damage
You
off.
need to
before.
play 2 max.
Yes, I needed to play 2 max, and so I played him. I just wasn't 100% sure, so I was like, that there was obviously no intention to drag it out. I was starting to attack when you could.
Oh no, okay, I was hoping you were miscounting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Give me one more draw for it. But then you played the bubble bot. It didn't matter. I couldn't get through all that.
Oh yeah, the bubble bot for sure. Yeah, I was very surprised you just went full face there with the Mech Warper alive.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess not thinking about. I don't know if you were thinking about because I think I was like, if I get to Levy, I think it's good, and even without
no,
it,
that was
probably okay.
For all on my part.
Yeah, but for sure, I mean,
anyway,
it made it. Yeah, I don't know if you were getting there either because I think I still would have had at least the bubble bot.
Yeah,
to play. So.
Unless I can get you to like 2 or 4 and get 2 lucky cannon shots.
I agree. Yeah,
game over
for sure.
Defias Cannoneer put in work this.
Dude,
tonight.
You got 4/4 Cannoneers like what? Every game, 2 games out of 3. I was like, and when you pull it out against the Hunter, I was like, "Yep, I don't think I can beat this because I have no clears in my deck."
The card is nuts.
Yeah, when I looked at it, I said I was more likely to die. I was more likely to live leaving up a 5/5 than leaving up a Cannoneer in that 5th game.
That was the right trade.
Yeah.
I also, if you'd played the other weapon, I got a random sticky finger.
Oh, you would have done our hero teammate proud with that one. Shoutouts to Owl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congrats on the win. It was a very close week. I had a lot of fun. It is getting quite late for us.
Yeah, y'all both played fantastically. Well played to you both.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Doc.
Yep.
Congratulations to the other Doc on a very well played series. So thank y'all for letting us cast your match, for letting us watch that incredible 5-game series. I cannot think of a better way to round out the regular series. This was fantastic. So thank you. The regular season.
Absolutely. Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
As we are kind of wrapping up for the evening, before we go, Doctorfeesh, anybody you want to shout out or anything you want to share, socials or teams or anything like that?
Sure. There's a lot that I could say. I will give a massive shout out to Nice Jewish Owl and thank his dad for helping me make decks pretty much every week. Shout outs to all of my opponents, even though my first opponent and I totally forgot the time frame we were supposed to play our match within. But yeah, it was a fun season, and of course, Amber. I am a member of Amber Flight Gaming. They are fantastic. And they support me in what I do. So thank you to them. And yeah, for Twitch, I sometimes stream on Twitch. It's my username, Doctorfeesh. Sometimes stream, usually not Hearthstone, usually other stuff. But yeah, that's all I got.
Hey, very good. Well, thank you again. And DoctorBOMD, any final shout outs or anything that you would like to share before we sign off here?
Well, I'll shout out my outstanding THL Hero Series captain, Doctorfeesh, I think is his name. We're rolling right along. Hopefully going to keep going. And Schmoopy, thanks for all the help with the deck building. Really helped me out. Really all season. We've done a good job together, and Sheep also bouncing ideas back and forth. And yeah, shout out to you guys again for putting this on. It's been fun.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, friends. And we will be calculating points this weekend on Sunday, and we'll see what is in store as we move forward into the finals. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you all next week for another cast match.
Wiser words have never been spoken, and you heard that on Born to Be Wild.